crafty friends. Today is time for another Scrap-lift Crafternoon. We are back after having a little bit of a break for Christmas and New Year's. And today we are starting off with a awesome inspiration, which is actually not a scrapbook page. It is a card from Amy. I think it's called With Love from Amy or something. And I knew I was going to get it wrong. I'll put the link in the description below. Go check it out, of course, and the other ladies who are hopping with us. But she created an interactive card, and it's kind of hard to see it in this, so you really should go watch her video and see how she does it. She was inspired by a Jennifer McGuire card, but she basically half die cuts the die out of the paper, and so that it can fold and that the window will be in there. She puts acetate behind the window. She actually stamps on the acetate with Stays On black. And then she uses that as her kind of window, and then she puts a piece of gray cardstock there to make it look more like a house. This is sort of the outside of the house, and some ink blending, and it's just a really cool card. And so we decided to use that as an inspiration for our layouts for this Scrap-lift Crafternoon. It is a challenge, I have to admit. I did not know what to do. I said, okay, well, she used a die, so I'm going to see what dies I can find. I found a coffee cup die that I had purchased, and I had never used it. There's a reason I never used it, because I don't know what to do with it. I looked at it and I said, I don't know how to make all these pieces work. So I figured it out, and I'm going to share it really quickly with you because I've done all the prep, but I want to show you what I did. So the outline, this is a Scrap Diva die. It's really a nice die, actually. It's comes out when everything comes out with this nice little stitch line around it. It has these two sizes, and I wasn't really sure what to do with these because when you cut them, you get a solid piece like this. But it turns out that what you want to do is you want to layer them like this, so that you actually come out with an outline, which is what this is, okay? And so, and then I did that a few times on some different cardstock, white cardstock, heavier stuff, and also a piece of just the background packaging, which is a little bit heavier. It's hard to tell, but this is like a Simple Stories package. Just that cardstock that's in there, I used that. It's just a little thicker than normal paper. So it's like 3 sheets of paper plus a couple of those, the card from the back packaging. So it's kind of recycling. So that's all how it's bumped up a little bit to make it a shaker. I did cut it out of silver so that I could get this nice frame, because the video I watched, she did it and she used gold. Another video that I watched on how to do this. So this has a piece that goes into the pocket for a gift card, but I'm not doing it for a gift card, but still I'm actually going to use it for my photos, which are these. Here are my photos. Obviously the theme is coffee from my theme. This is where I'm going to put some journaling on the back of this card. But the nice part is that instead of just, sticking them in there, which I could do, when you stick it on this little leaf underneath here, and I put this like this. This was another die piece, and I glued it to the top so that it would have a decorative piece. I don't know if it's supposed to be a flap. Probably isn't. I have no clue. But I just did it that way because my pieces were just a little bit too big to fit in that other flap. So it worked out perfectly for mine. My photos, I think, are 3x4 because it printed 2 of them. Well, on my Canon selfie, it printed 2 with a little bit of a border. So they're probably a little smaller than 3x4. Okay, so that slides in there, see? And I just glued the edges down to leave it as a pocket. And in the video, the inspiration video, she stamped on her acetate. So we're going to try it. We're going to try stamping on my acetate. I meant to do it before I even glued anything or glued it to the back, but I got too excited about making the shaker. So we're going to try. I have this stamp that says, take time to smell the coffee. And I have Stays-On ink, which is good for when you're stamping on acetate. I'm using it's my little pad, and I'm going to ink my stamp like this. And then what I figured out, I think, is, and I'm okay that it's not going to stamp perfectly, and it may not stamp very well because of the shakers in the back there, and I'm okay. I'm okay with whatever it does, okay? So I'm not gonna wiggle it. I'm just going to try to get, now, this is the other thing I learned is, be careful when you put wet glue on stuff, because shakers will stick. I'm gonna stick this right here. Yeah, it's not really legible, but it's fine. It's fine. I love it. Okay, cool. See, it just gives another little bit of extra something to the page, to the thing. Now, it's not going to shake very well when it's in my album, right? But it's fun. So that's going to go there. And I want to do, even though she did ink blending in the back of hers, this is definitely open to interpretation. So what I'm going to do with mine, I have these florals from Tim Holtz that are called Floral Outlines. And I am going to do, use my one lipstick in pink. Hopefully there's ink on here that's good ink. Okay, I'm going to stamp that, and then I'm going to ink it. I'm going to just spritz it a little, and then cool. So you can get a little bit of drippies there, that's okay. Also use my towel to wipe that up, to kind of mop that up a little bit. This is Allie Edwards paper, and I'm not 100% sure that it's really made for a lot of wet media, so I'm trying to keep it kind of white, kind of clear, not as wet as you might normally do on a other kind of media. And then I'm going to try, that's really pretty. I actually really like how that works on there. And the reason I'm kind of doing this is because on hers, she did this ink blending in kind of diagonal across the page. So I thought I might see how we could do that. Also, I felt like my background was just a little bit boring. And we don't like boring backgrounds around here. So try. I really like that. And I think that's a good place to stop too for that. Because I could just keep going and adding and it would be so pretty, but going to have to call it quits. Okay. So now I'm going to take my coffee guy, and I'm going to glue him down. Also trying to think of what, I should have probably done all that before I, did my, shaker and all that, but I like to do things in weird orders. Do you know that about me? That is 100% the case. Okay. And now my little coffee person can go in there. Slide in there like that and go up and down. Okay. And then I'm going to add in a few little words. I wanted to add some words. Also the title. But this is kind of my title here too. So that's pretty close. I mean, it's going to be a pretty simple page, I think. I like how it goes like that and everything. I mean, her card wasn't overly fancy, right? So it's good. I think we're kind of good now. I might add some hearts. I do love my hearts. So thanks so much for coming along on this hop today. My video is pretty short, but it's also pretty easy. I did a lot of that work off the camera just because that die cutting took some time, but once you know what you're cutting, it's actually pretty easy. If I'd known what I was doing, or if I did it again, I'm sure it would be a lot faster. So, so thanks so much for coming along again, and don't forget to go check out all the other folks who are hopping along. Stick around at the end for some close-ups, and those links are all in the description box below. Thanks so much. Bye.